Morning, everyone. Hope all are well on this Sunday afternoon. Now in South Africa, 12 o'clock Central African time. See, Nav Mum is here. Welcome to the channel. Obviously, I'll just wait for a few more people to get started before we talk about today's topic. Wait till we get to at least 5 or 6, 10 people before we get cracking with all of this. Morning, Mark, because it's not right. Hope all is well this morning. I'm just going to wait for a few people to arrive first before we get started. I didn't give anyone a heads up that I was going to do this today, but I thought it's an interesting topic to talk about on a Sunday, so we can at least have a little chat and we'll see what the people think of this going forward. Hello, Dippy. Welcome. 11 p.m. Obviously, New Zealand must be. How's it, Dips? Thought I'd do a Sunday stream since we've got nothing else to do in this lockdown. Keep things going. But I'll wait for a few more people until we get about 10. I want to pose a question and then I want to debate this topic of coronavirus, sport, what's going to happen, what should happen, how should we look at it. I know Rob and I did briefly speak about it on Friday, but obviously with his connection being bad, I thought let's make it into a discussion with all of you guys and me, and we can see where we go. Morning, Carl. How's it? Or afternoon, sorry. I'm missing Super Rugby. I was going to take my daughter to the Chiefs Storm. Unlucky, man. But my hangover, mate, was up till 4 dancing in front of my room to Gaelic music, drinking beer. Good. Hey, at least you had fun. What happened to my hair? Yeah. I thought I'd do, what do they call the coronavirus shave? It's too bloody hot, and I thought, shave it off. My mother was doing the grass, then she did the garden, and then she decided to get touched to my hair. So I thought, let's get free. Let's get free. Let's go mad, make things happen, as they say. Did this not share? I did share lacquer. Are you on lockdown? Yes, we are. It's day 3 of lockdown, order 21. But I hate to say it, I think we're going to get another shoot into lockdown. I think it's going to be extended. I hope not, but we'll see what happens. Morning, Zach. Hey, G man. Hope you and the family and friends are well. All good, all good. You're looking like Mr. Bond. Jeez, I can't take that as a compliment. That's a good one. That man's so rich. I wouldn't mind being like Bond right now. Right. Okay, we got 6 people here. Let's give it a bit. I've shared it to a few groups on Facebook, but I thought this might be a fun topic for us to chat about going forward. 007, lockdown sucks. You could say that again. It's definitely not the most fun in the world right now, but we've got to obey it, eh? We've got to obey it. If we don't obey it, we're going to be in lockdown for much longer, and then things are just going to get worse, and we're not going to solve the problems. There are people who are suffering out there, but there are people who are also not taking this seriously. And there's a powerful video from Sir Khaleesi that I'm tossing up with it to share on this channel, where he's like pleading to the nation and to the world to really buckle down, because people are still walking around on the streets. People are still not obeying all of this, and it's crazy. It's miss a good game of rugby, so do I. So over here, let's get the chat. And as you come in from now, we can fill in. The topic today, as you can see in the title, is coronavirus, the impact of sports globally. You need rugby. I think we all need rugby in our lives. We're missing it big time. So the impact sport has, it's obviously powerful. We miss it. We want it. It creates income for players. It creates income for stadiums, it allows us to be entertained and all that stuff. But now currently we're facing COVID-19, and it's obviously impacted. We've got the cricket tournament that's been postponed, Euros been postponed, a lot of sport has been postponed around the country, around the world actually, and if not every country has stopped. Should sport continue till the end of the year, if we ever get out of this for this year? Should it continue, or should we start afresh next year? I know a lot of people have said keep going with the same tournaments that you currently be doing. So, for example, Super Rugby, let it finish. Six Nations, let it finish. Premier League, let it finish. All that stuff. Should it be finished, or should we start afresh next year? Because I've got to think of a lot of occurrences right now. Player welfare, fitness, and how they adapt when they come back. They can't just be thrown into an international field because they're going to get injured, they're going to get pop, and all that stuff. So there's so many facts that need to be thought about when we're talking about sport going into these players and not throwing them in too soon. So should this be postponed, like until we've cleared? So let's say September, October, or should we start afresh? I reckon it should. The tournaments, and now you guys need to update. My opinion is I would keep the tournaments going and let it finish the way it started. Because, for example, look at the Premier League. Liverpool have worked so hard to get to where they were. Now, if you cancel that league, they're missing out on an opportunity that definitely was deserved theirs. You look at Super Rugby. So up in arms at the moment. You don't know who's going to win the tournament. You've got Liverpool and Super Rugby. You've got the Crusaders who are looking good, the Chiefs, and you've got the Sharks and the Stormers. The top four teams are really looking good, and you cannot really predict a winner out of this because the Crusaders have lost, the Sharks have lost, Stormers have lost, Chiefs has lost. There's so much going around in this sport. For me to throw that all away and start afresh in 2021, it's just a loss. Reduce the tournament maybe and get the top guys going, and do that. Six Nations too. We're almost done. We really are literally finished. Why do we need to scrap the tournament and start afresh? And I would play back the games that were postponed, so like the first one with Italy and Ireland. That game needs to be played. All the games be played and finish the tournament fair and square. And then I reckon something could have happened because for me, Six Nations, this tournament was going to be legit. This tournament was going to be something different. And I reckon everyone's saying England would have won. Everyone's saying France would have won. I reckon Ireland could have won. Um, let's not count on Scotland the way they were coming up at the end there. It was really boosting up. So for me to throw away what we've built in this years of sport to then scrap it new, I think it's a huge loss of what we could have seen happening this year. Um, I think first, let's just look at the comments. It's important to do what they're told. Yes, correct. Sport gives you health and it makes people happy. Yep. Missed it. Yep. I think fresh Liverpool won't win the league then. That's the thing. And that's exactly what I'm saying. Is Liverpool have worked damn hard in the football. For me, they should be allowed to play and to scrap or be allowed to win. It hasn't Marlon. So I think it will be sad. I guess because it's not right, says I guess start afresh. This virus is too dangerous to mess with. Correct. But what about the build? What about we've built so much already this year to throw it away all of a sudden? Surely that's gonna be a massive loss to the sport. Um, Again, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how long coronavirus is going to be around for. It could be around for another month. It could be around for another year. It could be around for 6 months. But to me, just keep what we've started. What does Dippy say? Can it until it's properly safe again to play? But problem comes in teams are playing to advance to higher leagues still. What did you didn't finish that? Still the finish that? I didn't get that last bit. My wife is glad I'm 2 meters away. To be fair, even in the house, I mean, I'm not always 2 meters away. How's it, William? As you can see, the title, we're talking about the debate of sport, whether it should continue this year if we come right of the whole virus, or should we start afresh, everything in 2021, scrap sport for 2020? Because what we must remember, we are only in March, and still the main concern should be player and fan safety. I agree, and I fully agree. But what I'm saying is, if we are clear and we're allowed to play, or we find a cure and the sport play. So let's go to September, October. We sorted, lockdowns are finished, we're free from the virus and all that jazz. And now we're talking, we can start playing sport. Do we scrap that year or do we continue? Because obviously certain tournaments are longer. So you've got the Premier League. It's not much long left, probably about 2-3 months. You've got Six Nations, literally 1 week left. Guess it comes down to timings. That is so true. You've got the 2020 Cricket World Cup. I can't even remember when that was scheduled. That's not long. You can finish that over a December period. Super Rugby, there you still had a long way to go. So that could be a question mark. But for me, it was so exciting to witness. Um, but going back to Andre's question, should we play in fan safety? Players being as well, is that these guys haven't played sport for months at that time. So let's go to September, October. And now we're expecting them to go straight into it. So straight into rugby, straight into soccer, cricket, whatever it may be. They're going to be rusty. They're training. If you've watched in South Africa, Siya Kolisi is still doing up and down in his garden and stuff, but it's not physical, full on weight training, the run, the movements, the physical tackling. He's not getting all of that. So now he's been out of that, and sooner or later, let's say, New Zealander who's bloody massive. I want to say Sonny Williams, but I can't even think of a rugby player right now. Let's say a guy like Evan Etzebeth, I'm using him, I know he plays overseas, has to flatten a guy like Kerwin Bosch. Small, big. That guy hasn't been tackled for how long? All of a sudden, bang, gone. And those are the unfortunate parts. He could be career-threatening injury. And this is a problem for players now because we know sports stars get injured a lot. So if they get into the situation, there could be life-threatening injuries coming up, and that's definitely a worry for us, and we need to concern that. Let's have a look at some comments. What do you guys have to say? Duncan says we all have to bunker down. I love sport, but the big picture, scrap it for the next 6 months. Anyway, fair enough. Scrap it as in clear it, and then we start afresh in new 2021. I'm guessing that's what you're saying. Guess it comes down to timings. Yep. Hi, Gareth. I don't know about Super Rugby, but I think other big tournaments should be postponed for the year. Well, Super Rugby would need to be as well because it's a big tournament and it's a long tournament. So if we keep that going, I mean, we can't just keep one going and stop, but because that's going to be a long one. I mean, Formula One, for example, those who watch it, how long does that go for? It should have started now till November. Do that. I can't see Super Rugby as sad as it is. Continuing, I think you're 100% right. Principality Stadium is now being used as a massive field hospital. Wow. Of course, you can close the roof. That's fantastic news. It's a disgrace that they moved the 2020 European Championship. It's not quite a disgrace, Marlon. It has to happen. I mean, if you play this tournament, you're going to get people sick. You can play closed doors, but we've seen players getting affected. We've seen coaches getting affected. We can't just have a tournament start in the middle of time. We don't know how long it's going to be. Hence the question, if we are cleared and if lockdown gets postponed, should we start it afresh, start right there in October or September, whenever it may be? Look, we might still be in lockdown for that long, but those are the questions. Do you think we will have international rugby this year? I'm hoping we'll have the autumn series in November. I really hope that kicks off because those are it's going to be an epic tournament. You've got great games for the South playing the North, and I think it's awesome that we can have it, but it all depends. I mean, we've still got July internationals to happen, so I don't know how World Rugby is going to do it. I know they stated it's postponed till now, until further notice, but we're going to have to wait and see what happens until the final results come in. I already missed the tackle. See what I mean? There are a lot of people that said, if it's gone by autumn in the UK, we have autumn international. And here we go. That's what I'm talking about. And add the unfinished Six Nations. I guess it could work on English rugby football, struggling for money. I saw Australian Rugby Union also did a press release now saying that they're struggling for money. How's it, Jamie? Welcome to the stream, bud. And that's the thing. A lot of these unions are struggling, and they're going to continue to struggle because you've got rugby players that are sitting out there, sports, not rugby players, sports stars that are sitting, waiting, not doing anything, expecting money, and they can't do much. And all these organizations or unions are paying money through, and it's just you're losing the fact. Continuously losing money. I know certain players in Ireland have agreed to player cuts. I'm not sure about the rest of the world, but all these things that are happening, it's causing so much chaos, and it's impacting the sporting world definitely globally. And in order to solve these issues, it's just extremely tough. So glad you're doing the streams. It's very anti-social, being stuck inside. Well, that's what I thought I'd do, give something to try and talk about. Although it's not the most fun topic, I want to do more reviews and stuff. But I thought this was an interesting one to kick off for a Sunday, because it's definitely affecting a lot of people. But let me know your thoughts. How should we approach this? It's a bad situation altogether. Doesn't benefit anyone. Are you talking? Is it bringing it back, canceling it, or what do you mean? Am I in lockdown? Yes, we are. Jamie, we are day 3 of lockdown. We went into lockdown. When was it? Friday, first day. There's a lot of people working. There's a lot of people working from home. There's a lot of people not working. People are getting pay cuts. One of them. We don't even know where we're going to see the working situation going forward. So it's quite hectic right now in South Africa. I know good friends of mine who have, like, one has their own business. They have to be put on hold, so they can't do anything. And there's so many people that are missing education from studying and all that stuff. It's a hectic mess right now, and I just hope that they can either find a cure, we can start, people can heal quicker. Gareth, I think that now might be a good time for Sanzar to reconsider the framework of Super Rugby. I know it's changing to 14 teams next year, but they should have a north-south competition. I agree with you, William. I think now's the time. No work, no pay. That's it. To be said it. We literally facing out. So a lot of people lost my job, so did my girlfriend and parents. You see, there we go. It's heartbreaking, man. It's just it's terrifying how it's knocking everyone. I will get back to your question, William. Don't worry. It's heartbreaking witnessing it. I mean, there are people going in depression. There are people who are stressing, people crying, poor people don't even know what to do anymore, because in South Africa, I don't know about you guys over there, we've got people who are working on the streets that are car guards, that sell fruit, that sell foods and stuff, and all that stuff. All these guys have no jobs because there's no one out on the roads, and it's hectic. It's breaking. Like Andre says, no work, no pay, tough times ahead. And I mean, Jamie, you just said you've lost your job and your family, girlfriend and parents. I mean, it's man, it's. I mean, I could genuinely face it. I'm in the retail industry, and I do the digital work. I mean, I could go on my own, but with businesses being smaller, it's risky, and it's sad. It's like being under house arrest. Let's go back. So, Jamie, you said, let's go back into the sporting topic. Super Rugby changed the whole framework. I agree. But then you've added have a north south competition. I agree with that too. I think I've always wanted to see north versus south in provincial levels, like they do in the football, they do it in cricket, or they used to do it in cricket. And I think it's an awesome thing to bring Super Rugby and like the European Cup together. I think it'll be awesome. And not just, you don't have to have a whole league. You can have the top 4 teams, playing against each other and really going at it and seeing who the best is. I mean, just imagine Leinster versus the Crusaders, or my Sharks versus Sale Sharks. I think it's awesome, and I think Super Rugby is dying right now. No one's really keen on watching it. No one's excited about it anymore. It's getting long, and I think if we can find a way to really boost this tournament into Super 12 or Super 10, I know teams will get the cut, and that's sad. But bring back the Cats and combine the Cheetahs or the Bulls and I know a lot of Bulls fans will kill me. The Bulls and Lions, printed a Transvaal team. Western Province, full on Western Province, or combine the Eastern and Western Province. I don't know if people will agree with that. Something different. Um, Stormers versus Team Bath. So I think it's definitely worth it, and I think it will excite a lot of people going forward if we can change these tournaments up. Because and don't kill me now, there is too much rugby. And when I say that, there's too much provincial rugby. There's tournaments going on too long. We're seeing players' careers getting destroyed. What I would have done is I would have had reduce these longer leagues and play a bit more international rugby, because that's what people want to see. I know we're all passionate about our provincial teams. For example, Andre and I, we watch Super Rugby religiously, the Sharks and the Stormers, but there's a lot of people who don't really care. I mean, look at the stadiums, for example. No one wants to go to watch a stadium game. One, they're either too bloody expensive, it's a mission, and blah, 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 blah. So what do you need to do? You need to bring it back to the TV and excite people and get that electricity energy back. And I haven't felt that until this year, funny enough. This year was the first year Super Rugby for me felt, maybe it's because the Sharks were playing better rugby, but it felt exciting and it felt equal. It's normally dominated by the All Blacks, and I know there's a lot here, but that becomes boring. We want it to be competitive. Whereas this year, watching the Chiefs and the Crusaders get into tight matches, and they're not just winning matches by 100 points or 200 points. They're actually playing competitive rugby. That for me was so exciting, and um, and that would have been the challenge for the Sharks and the Stormers, who currently were the top teams in South Africa, to play the Chiefs and play the Crusaders. I couldn't wait for that game. Even the Brumbies were doing so well in Australia. All of this could have brought something back, but these tournaments need a reduction. And we just got too many. For example, Pro 14. Was it the right decision to bring in the Kings and the Cheetahs? I think it was, because we've got so many teams in South Africa, and it creates an opportunity for development in South Africa. Yeah? But also, not only that, half of our freaking country goes and plays overseas because they earn better money. So create the tournaments, or extend it from that point of view, or do something different where, like William said, create a league where we can have these teams together in one tournament where we can really see something. Sorry, I'm missing comments. Let's get back to comments before I rant on again. Okay, so that every country is going through this. We all have to do a little bit to get through this and help those who can't. Well said, Duncan. You're spot on that. I met a homeless guy. You told me this yesterday. You met a homeless guy crying yesterday because he was so hungry. You bought him food. Everywhere is shut down for people to eat. That's hectic. Um, right. Can work. Might be a brilliant exposure for Kings players. Exactly. And that's the point. There's so much talent for those who don't know the Kings that well. We've had so many stars, but due to the position of finance and the position of where the Kings are, we lose all these freaking stars to big players, like the Stormers, the Bulls, the Cheetahs, the Sharks, all of these guys, because they want to go there so they can get an opportunity to play international. But if we create tournaments which brings these guys, keeps these guys where they need to be, we'll do it. And another team is the Cheetahs. The Cheetahs have produced gold. And when I say that, phenomenal players. But just like that, these guys want to play Super Rugby. They want to compete against the All Blacks. They want to play for the Springboks. So what do? They go and join these other leagues. And it's tough. How's it, name's Small? Welcome. Good to hear a few New Zealanders. That's why I want to do the morning stream, because I've been missing out on you New Zealand fans for quite some time. And I wanted to do a stream yesterday morning, but 2 Cents was doing one, and I didn't want to interfere with his. So I thought I'd keep mine to the afternoon, but I thought let's do a mid-afternoon one um, to do it. I started watching Kenyan rugby, Kenya versus Uganda. The singing is awesome, awesome. We didn't get that in Supersport. William, I was looking forward to see how the Stormers progress through the season. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Because even though the Sharks beat them, I still said it to Dubs, or Sox, as you guys know him. It was still a good game. Sharks just capitalized at the end, which is unusual. So the Stormers would have been definitely exciting. You need to get rugby back to grassroots. That is club rugby, then build up again. Duncan's spot on again. If we had to create a team, and I think you guys in the UK, New Zealand, and Australia could vouch for this probably. If South Africa had to create a province, and we've often discussed this surprise, a whole tournament where the players we're born from have to play for that province. So like if you're born in the Eastern Cape, you play for Eastern Province. Same with Western and da da da. You would have seen probably, and this will shock you, the Southern Kings, which is Eastern Province, would have been probably one of the most dominant teams in South Africa because of what we've produced in rugby. And that's the big loss that we're seeing. And I think that's common spot on. You need to get rugby back to grassroots, club rugby, and then build up again. And I think that is spot on, and it gives these guys an opportunity to play for their provincial team and progress. Um, no, it will never happen, but I would love to see a South African league where players have to. There we go. Sorry, I didn't read that. Dubs. He's just said exactly what I've said, or I've just said what he said, and he's the one who's often said this to me in at Bryce is players where they're born from need to play from their province. If we have to create a league like that, I'm telling you, Eastern Province will be one of the strongest teams. And you can ask many sports pundits out there would vouch for that comment that I just made because of the likes of Sia Polisi, Mapimpi. Oh, there's so many others that I can't even think of. But all those guys, and the same with Western Province, Cheetahs, Free State Rugby would probably be a dominant force because of that exact rule, I feel. So it's definitely exciting going forward to see how these things could progress if we had to go back to grassroots levels. And like you said, it won't happen, unfortunately. But if it did, it would create something unique and special. So yeah, William says the Kings are a shame because as soon as they produce a big player, that player is taken away from them. Danny Hammer, boom, boom, bingo. There we go. As it, Bud, there we go. There's one of the greatest centres in South African rugby gone. And that's the problem with the Eastern Province and the Kings and all this stuff. These guys miss out. And it's all got to do with this at the end of the day. And it proves that people are playing for more for money rather than the pride. And you can understand that, especially you can understand more in times like these because of the situations we're currently under. People need the money. And people are going to go for every opportunity now. And now's the time when we're sadly going to see provincial teams get destroyed because now you're in a panic. You're probably going to go with months without a full salary because of this virus. So all these guys are going to jump ship and go to the nearest big deal. I know Peter Steph, the toy, he's turned down loads of offers because of he wants to be loyal to the Western Province. He wants to be loyal to his country. But as soon as now they're pressured, they're going to go out of it. Excuse me 1 second. One. Yeah. Ja, let know. Just on YouTube at the moment. Thanks. Right. So yeah, I love local rugby clubs, rugby, and I remember going to see a Northampton side play halfway through the game. A wild horse game. The pitch just come off around the pitch. Hectic. A wild horse. Speaking of that, because it's not right talking about that, I was watching my first ever game. I think it was France versus South Africa. at the old Boet Erasmus Stadium, not the Nelson Mandela Bay, the Boet Erasmus Stadium. And it was an odd game. It wasn't, I can't remember much of it. I was a kid. I mean, I was small then, but I remember it. And they let a rooster on the field, and the rooster was running around. You had the police, players, you had so many people trying to chase this rooster on this field between Springboks and France. And at the end of the day, this rooster got the biggest crowd cheer out of the game because he was sidestepping and dumbing these guys like mad. It was hilarious. I mean, literally. And then the guys are literally going, "Watch the rooster," and they're cheering him, especially when the cops jump on it and miss it. And the guy goes down. He actually, I think, went to the try line at one stage. And when they eventually caught the poor thing, and they took it off, the crowd booed like mad because they wanted to see the rooster. It was the most exciting part of this game, and that was quite a moment to remember. I mean, I will never forget that. And I mean, I think I must have been 9, 10, around that age, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, there we go. There's some memories of it. And that was at the old traditional stadium of Eastern Branch Rugby SG, old Boet Erasmus. And yeah, yes, that was a fun memory. Now that you said that, it reminds me. Well, there's a big recession. Yes, it is. You also remember that, okay, Andre, obviously, we've spoken about that. You remember that. Hey, G-Man Sappers, yeah, living in Japan, really disappointing about the Tokyo Olympics. Was looking forward to the Olympics rugby. Yeah, man, that's a big loss, but that had to happen. A lot of the Olympics boards were very confident that this wasn't going to affect them. It was going to go on, but they had to postpone it. As sad as it, because I was looking forward to the Paralympics. That's the one I really enjoy. But unfortunately, they got to do the right thing at the end of the day and cancel these sporting codes because play welfare, the health, and all that stuff. And that goes to the point of how are we going to spark sport up? How are World Rugby going to be creative enough to change the sport to make it better for the people? And that's the thing. We need to be creative. Like the whole idea of the World Nations Cup, when they were trying to do a little that tournament that was going to be the middle of the World Cup or between the World Cups, each World Cup, and trying to create more international rugby. It was a good idea, good thought, but then it would have destroyed the history of World Cup. And I mean, if we look at this World Cup, it's breaking records. It shot records straight on. The final was the biggest final. It was massive over there. And I think if we create more international rugby and reduce provincial, we'll definitely get more people back in the seats and allow different stadiums. Because in South Africa, when international rugby comes here, they're very biased for the big games to play in either Cape Town or Joburg. Um, our town, which has a phenomenal stadium, I think can fit max 45,000 people. We don't get often games. We're getting the little games. We're getting Georgia. Well, we should have got Georgia in July. I mean, PE has one of the biggest atmospheres in the country, yet we keep getting little games. And those are the things that Sanzo, SA Rugby, World Rugby need to think of. Bringing it to the communities, bringing it to the smaller towns to educate, to excite people again. And that's the thing. A lady called Erica ran across having taken her top off. Well, what a cheer she got. I can imagine. There's been a few. I was at a cricket game where a person was and running around. That was hilarious. Um, Rooster story, yeah, no, that was epic. Jeez, I'll never forget it. It was phenomenal. I think, yeah, but also playing the sport with no stadium's hard. I mean, for those who watch wrestling, trying to watch a wrestling environment with no crowd is absolutely odd. I can't do it. Do you think we will still have the Castle Test Championship Blizzard? I, d- I really want to say we should, um, but it's going to be tough this year because of what's going on. I hope we see the championship. In fact, if worst comes to worst, scrap July internationals completely. And then when we get back in September, October, if we get back, I would put Rugby Championship and Six Nations, finish it. and go straight into the autumn internationals. That's how I would see the international levels. Finish the top six for the provincial leagues. Those top six, I mean, we're ready, should be knockout stage for the Champions Cup, and end it like that. Then it's done, and we'll see a result. And then go straight into international and end the year with international rugby. And I think that will be an awesome recovery for international rugby and bring a lot of people into stadiums and spread it out so that we can try and make back money that we've lost. Because I think in South Africa, the big games, as much as I wanted to see Scotland, yeah, I would have, or in South Africa, I think rugby championship is what will bring people to the seats. However, I do want to watch Georgia here. I think it would be absolutely epic. I'm so sad if we don't get to see the World Champs versus the All Blacks. Yeah, it will be. I mean, I think that's what everyone's looking forward to is the All Blacks versus Springboks, and now the World Champion Springboks. I think it would bring a lot of excitement to it. Who do I support in soccer? Manchester United. Clearly, you've seen the clock when I do videos from that end. But yeah, Man United, even though they were starting to come right too in that. While you guys are there, hit that like button. Let's get it up to 10. Good to see a few more than 6 here normally. Dude, hope you're staying safe. Luke, I am trying, bud. We all are. As long as we just obey the rules and do what our governments tell us. I think that's the main thing at the end of the day. I don't know about anyone else, but I'm missing the gym. I'm getting very unfit staying at home. I'm trying to do in-house work so I can keep it going because I don't want to lose what I've built. But I do miss it because I miss work with the trainer. It kept me going, kept me pumped and motivated. But hopefully we'll get back to that one day soon. Um, Madagascar games, big support and turnout. Check out Madagascar. I haven't actually seen it. I will have a look. Sounds like a good plan, G. I just think it's a way forward international rugby to reduce provincial tournaments, play international rugby championship, finish Six Nations, go straight into autumn internationals. I think it will be sad if we kick out the autumn internationals because I reckon we've got so much potential to witness that north-south rivalry, and I think it could be absolutely epic. If we can keep that going, I think great things to come. How's it, Declan? Welcome back. I haven't seen you in a while, bud. Good to have you back on the stream. Duncan says it will be very difficult to expect players to go from rugby to test rugby in one go. I cannot imagine any test rugby this year. That was my concern earlier, Duncan, was how can we expect players to go straight in? They might be training at home and gymming and all that stuff, but they're not going to be fit, they'll be fit, but they're not going to be tackling fit to get a hard hit, and that could create bad injuries. And like I said, a guy like Eben Etzebeth tackling a guy like Kerwin Bosch, or Faf de Klerk, for example, that could really impact a player. And it will be sad if we had to lose a player due to injury like that. So for me, it needs to be, we need to see something change. But yeah, I don't know. It's very hectic. Did I see any of the Beasts games in USA? No, I haven't. Unfortunately, they haven't shown those. Or maybe check on YouTube. But we haven't seen any of the Beasts and how he's doing. But I know he's doing well. Gareth, what do you think of? Wait, the comments just disappeared. What do I think of the Stormers moving to Newland, to the Cape Town? I don't agree with that at all. Stormers play in Newlands. They shouldn't move to Cape Town Stadium. There's no history. That was created for sport, for soccer, for they've stolen sevens there. They've done all that. Keep it there. Newlands, Stormers, only way. And I'm a Sharks fan, but I'm a full-on believer of the history that Stormers have created at this stadium, and to throw all of that away, Currie Cup wins, big games, SA games. I think it's sad and stupid in my opinion. Did you see? Okay, I've seen that. I personally am quite sad about it, as I've many happy memories at Newlands. There we go. I've never got so many chores from my parents, and I'm playing rugby on my own in the background to stay fit. Well, that's the time. Now's the time for chores, unfortunately, to get stuff going to keep you busy. But it's good that you're still playing in the backyard. I used to do that every day after school, kick a ball or bowl. I mean, it's like even in the streams, I've got a cricket ball in my hand always, just to keep me calm, keep me sane during this time of lockdown, especially when there's no sport. And it's great watching highlights and seeing these things. But I want, like, for example, we got Super Sport in South Africa. They keep showing the same freaking highlights. I want to go back to when 99, 2003s, maybe even 2007s, and further on, Super Rugby. Excite us by bringing all of that. The old cricket games, old school, the Pollocks, the Donalds, the Glenn McGraths, the champs. I mean, really, I want to see that. Declan, I'm going to go see Wales versus SA in New Zealand. If this is all that is going to be an epic game to watch. Wales, South Africa. Wales will be wanting revenge over the Box for what happened in the World Cup, but let's hope we get that. I've never been more excited for November internationals than I am this year because of the stake of quality games that we're going to get. I mean, I'll whoop up the fixtures, but I think it's going to be absolutely incredible to see the rugby games that are coming this year or later on. It would have been a great year for rugby, and it's gutting that has to happen. I think that Ireland have their youth right and having to play with the province. Exactly, Kelly, you're so right. Ireland have done a great job, and so has New Zealand, producing on the grassroots levels, taking them up. The rule is you want to play for New Zealand, you play in New Zealand, and boom, look what they've created. 2018 Ireland, one of the best Irish rugby teams I've ever seen. You go to All Blacks, completely dominant. Why? Because they're producing quality and they're not allowing players to run around. That's why they've been so dominant. Yes, they lost the World Cup, but they're still one of the most phenomenal teams in world rugby because of that. Do I fast bowl or spin? I was a spin bowler, spin and slow. I never bowled fast. But yeah, I enjoyed my bowling back in the day. UFC still on. For now, UFC is still on. I still reckon UFC could get cancelled, to be honest, because of all of this. I know we got on the 18th of April, my birthday, we got Khabib, a big fight, but I just don't see that happening. I think they're going to force cancellation with UFC. I hope not. I hope not. But we'll have to wait and see. How's it, Ethan? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Gareth, is it the second oldest rugby stadium in the world? I'm honestly not sure. I know it's got a lot of history with age, but I don't think in the world. Maybe in South Africa. I googled England versus Wales 1970 at Twickenham. Worth watching. Brilliant rugby and horrendous haircuts. I will look that up. That could be quite exciting. It's all that old school sport that I want to see. For example, me, I grew up watching the Matthew Burks like '99. And although I wasn't as massive rugby fan as I am now, those were special times of how I enjoyed it. And those are the players that I enjoyed, Johnny Wilkinson's and all that. For me, 2000 to 2005 were exciting years of stars for me. The US Van der Westhuizen and all those guys. I enjoyed it. So if we look at the fixtures that we would have seen for the autumn internationals, it would have been France, Georgia. Okay, nothing exciting there. Ireland, Australia. That would have been epic. That would have been exciting. Italy, South Africa, always entertaining because Italy have beaten us before. Wales, Fiji, can never count on Fiji. You got Scotland, Argentina. That would have been epic. And then England versus New Zealand. Hello. That would have been a stream of dreams. Quality. Then we got France the next week, France, Australia, Ireland, South Africa. Could have won for that one. Scotland, Japan, Wales, New Zealand, England, Argentina. Another week. Phenomenal stuff. Then you got week 3, France, South Africa, Ireland, Japan, England, Tonga, Scotland, New Zealand, Wales, Argentina. The week in the final week, England, Oz, Wales, South Africa. November internationals would have been epic this year. And we would have seen some quality sport. And I'm glad that it's not there. Off spin, by the way, you grip the ball though. Yeah, I was. I could leg spin a bit, but I'm more stronger. Rugby is in a great place at the moment. It is. We just need to get back to it. I watched England versus France game, 1991 World Cup. I saw Two Cents did that as well. He was watching the 1991 World Cup final. Um, that's the year I was born. That's a bit before, but I want to watch from 99. I think that could be epic. 95 I've seen so many times, but I want to watch 99, 2003 again, 2007. I think we could, even 2011. I want to bring up the Bryce Lawrence game and watch that and get South Africans' blood boiling. Jamie says, I would love to see a movie about Sia Khaleesi. I think his life story would make one amazing movie. Couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more because it's a hell of a story. Township boy, have in the middle of all the tough stuff of South African rugby, of South Africa during apartheid, and then to have gotten chosen to go to a great school in Port Elizabeth, Eastern Province, Western Province, Stormers, box, captain, World Cup winner. What a resume, and what a success story to inspire so many other people around the world who've gone through tough situations. And I think that's a story that's definitely worth us sharing. I agree with you, Jamie. Um, oh, sorry, that was a quarterfinal, not a final. Yeah. All right, where are we? Okay, US was a legend, says, because it's right. I agree. Rest in peace. Ethan says, I'd love rugby schedules completely changed from all of this. I'd love that the Premier League play on Boxing Day and New Year's. Imagine Test match or Super Rugby derbies being played on these days. I'll be quite epic. But the problem with that is actually, what is the problem with that? Super Rugby, we're all in summer, so it could happen. Would definitely be exciting to witness rugby on Boxing Day or New Year's Day. I think it would be something just us rugby fans would get quite celebratory. So we could have a groot kopseer and those guys might not want to play. Could be interesting. Yeah, it's William agreeing with Jamie. Ireland, Japan, what a game that would have been. Exactly. Exactly. G-Man, come along. What? What? Singing on. Singing on what? Oh, you mean talking on. Did you hear the Principality Stadium has been? I did, Declan. I did. That's fantastic to hear, and also with the roof, it's a good initiative for rugby. You need to use these stadiums because that can hold so many people. But I think with the Principality or Millennium Stadium, it's great because of the doors being closed or the roof being closed. I think that's a fantastic initiative. Lowell, what a player! He smashed Rory Underwood. They couldn't tackle him. Just bloody Jonah Lomu was the king. He was a beast. He could flatten anyone with all he does. He was an absolute legend. Respect to Jonah Lomu, another superstar. In well, I was going to say in the making, but phenomenal. Who can you see being the next All Blacks captain? Yo, that's a tough one. I don't know if we've spoken about this on the channel yet. Who I've predicted. I think Sam Kane or maybe Scott Barrett. I think should be. I want to go with a young captain who can build the team for the next World Cup. I don't think Barrett needs it, and I think a lot of people have said Barrett. But for me, he's got a lot of pressure on him already with what he has to do um, eh, on the game. He's got so much responsibility on the field, and I think if you give a guy like Bowden captaincy, that might knock him a bit. So for me, I'd give it to Sam Kane or Scott Barrett. And when I'm talking about Barrett, I mean Bowden shouldn't get it. That's my thoughts. What's your thoughts, Jamie? Jim, your thoughts on quality in rugby? I think it worked. We're starting to see it work. There's a big difference there, Blizzard. Quota and transformation. Quota is when the higher authorities get involved in throwing players that aren't ready. Transformation is a great example for Sia Khaleesi, building the sport in the communities, bringing it to the townships, and allowing these guys to train and play. They then play schools, college, provincial, and are ready. They've had experience, they are ready to play, and they earn their position on merit. That's transformation. Quota is when they get selected unnecessarily. So for me, transformation is working well, and rugby has improved a lot on it. And we've seen that in the World Cup with the likes of Mapimpi. We've seen it with all these phenomenal players of colours that have just come up and have been the stars in the World Cup. Mapimpi, Sia, Lucanio great. Trevor Nkane, Bongi. These magnificent players out there. And going, the way they're going, I think it's great. TJ Perenara, I will not say no to him as captain. To me, still one of the greatest All Black scrum halves. I know everyone loves Aaron Smith, but I'd back you on TJ Perenara. I didn't think they would give it to him because of Aaron, but I would go with you on TJ Perenara. Who you see winning the Lions tour next year? South Africa all the way, buddy. Nah, it's gonna be tough. I think I couldn't really predict that, to be honest with you. Um, so I don't know. I think Lions are going to create something special and unique within that team. The quality rugby players that are coming from Europe at the moment is outstanding. You look at what England's producing, what Scotland's producing in their stars. You look at Ireland, you look at Wales. Um, it's quality within the top Six Nations teams. I mean, France and Italy, even. It's just great. And I think South Africa need to really pick up. And I think it's going to be one of the most anticipated and most curious watching Lions series because no one knows what's going to happen. You've seen such an improvement in European rugby. The South, us, the Northern Hemisphere is totally taken the world by storm, and we've seen it happen. And I think that's going to put it in a very tough case. For me, South Africa are going to face a very dominant Lions team and probably one of the strongest at this stage. So Gatlin's got an awesome job on his hand in creating something special with what he's got. He's got a field of players that are absolute gold. And but don't count out South Africa. We've also got some quality gems within our squad, and it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be one of the greatest Lions tournament for me. All right, where do we see? What do you think of Fiji's chances in the next World Cup if they can get their fitness up? See, the thing with Fiji is World Rugby need to include them in the tournaments. They need to be given chances to play the sport. Bring them into Super Rugby or bring them into Rugby Championship. They need more exposure into international level. If they can do that, they could be such a dark horse. Not potential winners, but they could be like Japan and surprise you and do something special that no one would have expected. So for me, it's up to Super Rugby Super Rugby, World Rugby to get their shit in order to create something special out of what we have in surprise package in the Pacific Island teams. They're phenomenal. And I think if they can get that right, it's going to be epic. Gareth, is there an ultimate goal for transformation? I think the key is to people need to play. Equality comes first, as well as playing on merit. Be thrown into the team. You can't be expected to play when you're not ready. The ultimate goal is to do it the right way, and South African rugby seem to be going in the right day. I don't want to see players getting thrown out for odd reasons. That's always sad, but I want it to be done fairly and equally. Um, I was waiting for Olympic sevens this year, but maybe next year. Yeah, hopefully we'll get it on. The sevens was definitely one of the big talks for this Olympics, and it's a pity. Definitely in South Africa, we were looking for it. Lions tour is going to be unreal. They say the forwards getting smashed in the head causes brain problems and illness. Well, that's the thing. It's affecting a lot of players. I'm surprised you said TJ's name. Perfect. Cheers. I've always enjoyed TJ Perenara. I think he's phenomenal. I've always been a big fan of his, even in the Hurricanes. So I try and get the names right. I'm normally shocking with pronunciation of names. I'm a little, I'm a little bit worried about the way you polish the ball. Make sure you keep your hands out of your pockets, as it's still brand new. It's not been even used. But no, I don't. I'm not. I don't do the Australian way of using sandpaper on a cricket ball. That's against me. No ways. At least we got the Rugby World Cup done before the virus came. Thank the Pope for that. What a what chaos we would have seen if the virus was there. So thank goodness got a good World Cup in. What is preventing Fiji from joining Super Rugby? World Rugby, SANZAR, LMC. I think that's the main thing. They need to bring Pacific Islands into World Rugby to get them more game time. Create a team like the Jaguars, even if it's a whole Fijian squad. Look at what the Jaguars improvement did for Argentinian rugby. Now bring that into the Pacific teams. Kick out a few other teams, bring back Super 12, but put in a Pacific Island team. You will watch the crease of rugby get better. You will see development in the Pacific Island teams, and you will see them get into a situation where they're going to knock out proper teams around in the world, in my opinion. I agree with you 100%. Cool, thanks, Carl. Gareth agreed. Awesome. Glenn Kelly says, I love Andy Farrell's New Ireland. They are so free and are able to express themselves. That's good. That's good. Ireland, for me, lacked it at the start, but they started coming back and they started looking good. And again, all these teams started coming right when the game started getting postponed, which was a massive, massive loss. I love TJ Nahaka, amazing. Agreed. So much passion in him. Sam Greer says, get them likes up, brothers. We're on 15. Can we get to 20? Let's see if we can get to 20 likes up there. We're on 15. 5 more to go. It's a shame the World Rugby is clueless on how to grow the game around the world. They seem too concentrated on Europe only. Yeah, LMC, you said it, buddy. You said it 100% right. I think that sometimes they forget, actually, they are. We see it's also up to SANZAR. SANZAR needs to fight World Rugby and get them going. At the end of the day, SANZAR's in charge of what's going on in the South. So for me, they need to pipe up and say, World Rugby, we need to do this. We need to see what's happening. We need to focus on what's going on. And that's the important thing, bringing these guys. Off the lunch, keep the streams, G-Man. It's a public service you're doing. Cheers, buddy. Thanks for joining. I won't be too much longer for all the guys who need to go to lunch at 1, but we'll keep on going for a little bit longer. Duncan says Super Rugby is gone. It's definitely dying, but now's the time to be creative and create something special in this tournament. And I think that's what they should do. They should spice the tournament up, reduce it, bring in the numbers, and have a cracking tournament. I think that's what we need to do. Oh, cheers, bud. 10 pounds. That's it's about $200 for me. Thank you for that, bud. 7 a.m. here in Canada. Jeepers. That's quite early. It is now 1 o'clock here. So everyone's going to be going for lunches and stuff. So I won't keep you guys that much longer, but I thought we'd just keep going till we get 20 likes. Now watch everyone jump and get 20. All right. There are a lot of great SA players in the USA right now playing in the MLR. I can see American poaching a lot of our great players and coaches. Again, another country that has the money to increase and can develop. And I think if they can push it up a bit, it could definitely spice things up and create something unique and special in the tournament. Because for me, USA could do something. Thanks, Blomy. Appreciate it. Thanks, David. We're on 19, so we're nearly there. But so yeah, I think USA, all these little countries with money have the opportunity to really. There's the 20. There's the 20. Thank you, guys. Has the opportunity to really kick off and grow. But it's all got to do with World Rugby. World Rugby need to use their brains. Instead of watching people's streams and giving the right strikes, they should focus on the game so I can continue my job. Um, what's the crack, lad? Explain that. Um, I don't think we will see Springboks versus All Blacks this year. Coronavirus will be around for months. Sad but true. Sad but true, man. Pity. Gareth, my cousin is playing rugby in America for. Oh, awesome. That's epic. See, that's another thing. I'm glad to hear rugby in USA is getting bigger because I think there's potential there. Look at Sevens rugby. We've seen a lot of growth, a lot of development, a lot of interesting things happen. And we've seen USA win the odd Sevens tournament. And I think if more focus and money is put into the sport, it can happen. Duncan says Australian rugby is broke. Piss poor management has sunk it. You said it. Not going to argue there. I've always rated Australian rugby has the talent and the opportunities to do wonders, but they're not focusing it. And the comment that I keep getting back on YouTube from you guys is main sports, Aussie rules, cricket, and all that stuff. It's got no one really cares about rugby, which is sad because if Australia really put their focus into the tournament, we could see great things come out of that country, and we can see a World Cup winning team. We can see a rugby championship team. Um, I really think it could do it. LMC, I'm still here for a bit. I'm not disappearing just yet. We still got 90 people on, so I will keep you guys entertained. But thanks for joining in, everyone. It's been awesome. This has been a good stream, probably the best one we've had in a long time. Australia, yeah, uploaded it, and it says that it's growing very quickly in USA. There we go, point proven. As long as we keep focusing on the sport, putting money in, developing it, rugby will continue in these provinces. We want to play the world champions here so badly. Tell me about it. We want to play you guys so badly too. Everyone keeps saying the All Blacks haven't played the champions, Springboks. They can't be champions unless they play the All Blacks. I want to play the All Blacks. I'm hungry for that game. That was our only loss in the World Cup, and I want redemption. I want to silence the critics. And I mean, the rivalry that the All Blacks and South Africa have is epic. And I think that's definitely something special worth watching. Twiggy Forrest has the cash to rescue it. Who's Twiggy Forrest? Oh, is that probably one of the top guys up there, or Primary? Then they must rescue it. They have the cash. Rescue the damn sport. Do it. It needs to happen. Well, yeah, Gareth, the Aussies team at the moment reminds me of the Springboks in 2017. Very frustrating and inconsistent. William, I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think that is definitely the case. And they are frustrated because they don't know what's going on. The coaching, it's all these things are definitely a factor and a problem. And I think if money is developed, you've got the right look at the Springboks, for example. And I know I harp on about it a lot. But in 2017, 2016, it was the worst state that team's ever been. Just 3 to 4 years later, they're world champions. Australia can do it too. I really believe it. And they can. When at Eden Park, that would be big. Tell me about it. If SA players play in the US, they can still play for the Springbok. I don't know the ruling on that. I think they can because SA Rugby reduced the law. So if we play overseas, we can still play. So that rule was lifted. So I think definitely. Um, Impact of humans globally. One wonders what the suicide rate will be because of this. Yeah, I think that's a sad comment, but it's a point because people are going to get frustrated. They're going to lose jobs. They're going to get impacted. And that's the heartbreaking thing of the situation we're currently going in the world. And we can only hope and pray that things come right. Happy to see you safe, Jim. Thanks, Alan. Thomas, welcome to the stream, bud. All safe. Hopefully you're safe too up there. I'm guessing Wales, eh? I know you've been there for a long time. Guinness is Australia have made so many great players. Hooper Pocock, two of them. Pocock, Zimbabwe or Zambian, African born. Just thought I'd mention, but I'll give you it. Two of the best back rows ever, along with so many more. Agreed. There's quality. There's phenomenal talent in Australia. They just need to focus their money on it. They just need to bring in the right coaching force. And if they can do that, coaching source, I read force, so I said force. If they can do that, A for away, my friends. Everyone, how's it, James Barr? Welcome to the stream, bud. Everyone can see the issues at the top of the Aussies hierarchy. Why do you think changes have not been made? Money. I think money is definitely an issue at the end of the day. If the guys don't have the finances, players are going to go overseas. Players don't want to play. They're not motivated, and all that stuff. And I think that's the sad force at the end of the day. Money has so many answers in sport at the moment, and it definitely is one of the key factors for people. And I think that's sad. Don't think the world will ever be the same again. Funny, a lot of the guys are saying that on the stream. But it's now on that comment. Um, this is the time to. I did a video and I want you guys to go back to it. It's about talking about this whole virus. Of we need to also see the positives. Yes, we're going through negative times and we're facing a lot of tough situations, and nothing can replace that or stop that. But there are lights at the end of certain tunnels in the situation. China, I mean, animals are singing again. The atmosphere, the airs, the clouds. You can see the sky. You're not looking at pollution. Italy, that river stream is at Venice. It's clear. Fish are coming back. Swans are swimming in. Great things are happening. People are uniting in certain aspects, more powerful than ever. Yes, there's still some idiots who aren't obeying the rules, but people are uniting. They're singing to each other, they're talking to each other, they're motivating each other to keep fighting, to keep going in these tough situations. So those things are happening. In a job situation, people might not have jobs, but they're being creative. They're going out there and, for example, me, I'm affected too. No work, no pay from April, and it's tough. But as much as I'm stressing about the finances, the debts I got to pay, this is what keeps me going, what motivates me and inspires me to continue this path because I get to talk about sport, which is my love. And although there's no sport, I still get to do it and interact with people from all over the world in this comment section to discuss these things with you. And like you guys are saying, there's a silver lining at the end of the day, and we have the power to be the deciding to decide our future, whether it's creating content, writing a book, writing music, fitness at home. I mean, if you're passionate about what you do, whatever it may be, you can create. Pick up a phone, and record yourself doing what you love, and you can change so many things and create so much hope for other people out there who might need the encouragement and motivation going on. And I think that's so important and what people are forgetting that there are other ways of what people can do in order to help others, encourage others, inspire others, motivate others. And I think that's what we need to do at the end of the day because there are people out there who need motivation, who need help, who need a sense of comfort, a sense of support. And if you feel you can talk sport, go do what I'm doing. I started. It took me years to get to the first 1,000 subscribers. And although it's on kind of decline because of YouTube, it still keeps me going because I know there are people here that enjoy what I do, and that's the point. And I think that's what we need to remember at the end of the day. It is tough, but it's not the end of the world. Yes, the world won't be the same, but we have the power to make stuff different and to motivate others. And that's something we can do. Every cloud is a silver lining. There we go. How is South Africa holding up? Take it a day at a time. There are people who are obeying the rules, there are people who are not obeying the rules, and those are the people that need to get sorted out. Otherwise, we're just never going to fight this virus. And that's the thing. You need to obey the rules of your government, of your people. If you don't do that, you just make it worse for yourself and for everyone around you. And this virus spreads. It spreads. And we need to obey rules. I'm Archie, man. Stay safe. Love that t-shirt. Smile more. Cheers, man. Thanks. Enjoy. Keep smiling. Um, there's another silver lining. I love what you're doing. Thanks, Duncan. Appreciate it. Will SA have a payment to all citizens out of work? They're trying to raise funds for small businesses and people who are affected. Definitely not all. Not we're not as strong. How's it, Sebastian? We're not as strong as the UK and America. We don't have those kind of funds, but we are. They are trying hard to work on different opportunities and see how we can do things to help businesses, because there's a lot of businesses that are suffering right now or are going to suffer, to shut down, or going to have to retrench people, and we just got to hope that people obey rules to fight this virus. The amount of money poured into the world economy just to jumpstart it again will be paid for by public money. After this epidemic, money that will start all over the world. That's the thing. It's going to affect everyone money wise. It's going to knock a lot of people. Um, he's still worried about the grip. This ball's hardly been damaged. It's perfect. I'm not Steve Smith or David Warner or Cameron. This is genuine. I've been playing cricket all my life, so that's the last thing I would ever do. But all right, still okay. Thanks for what you do, because that's what you do for us. Cheers. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. All the money that has been printed, thin egg. I cannot see how it will end. We have to take it one step at a time. Just have a right mindset and attitude, and we will get through this together. How is it, bud? Your content is my best link to growing my knowledge and love for the game of rugby. Well, see, that's all the motivation I need to continue what I do and to keep fighting and keep doing what we do, because it's a passion. It's ignited. Without this, I wouldn't have been able to do a lot of things like get a webcam, get certain things to help me. And as long as we can keep doing what we do to keep happy and motivated, we'll keep smiling. I do not believe you. You're a fellow. Hey, Duncan, where are you from? Where are you from? And then we will talk. Um, we will talk. I've actually got another one yet too. I've got both red, white. Um, oh wait, Duncan, aren't you an Aussie? Now we know why you're chirping. At the start of the month, I passed the driving test, had a few months holiday, and attended a concert, and now the country locked down. It's mad how this month has felt so long. That's the thing. It's crazy how just one thing can take away. And like I said, got to keep fighting, keep building, keep motivated in order to achieve the dreams that we want to achieve. You should call the Bull Wars funny. I watched that movie the other day. Um, oh well, I've got tons of cricket balls, the odd rugby ball, soccer balls right there next to Bocky. I've got keeping myself busy with all the stress that's going on. Are you cutting your own hair now? I'm going to have to go today, longest. It's been in a while. No, I got my mother to cut it. I was getting, it's still quite hot here in South Africa, and I was getting frustrated. And I see everyone's been doing it. Like, what do they call it? The Corona shave. So I thought, let me join the situation and see what's going on. But yeah, no. She was cutting the grass, she was cutting the plants, and now she decided to cut my hair on day 3 of lockdown. We've got 19 days to go. Wish me luck. Um, when hopelessly stuck at the bottom, we can suffer it lonely or try enjoying it together. Check out Bo's comment, guys. That is such a good one. And that's the thing. Ex New Zealand, but lived in Aussie for 40 years. No wonder you got the Aussie chirp. Like a man. Um, Duncan William says, in terms of coronavirus, how you guys are handling it in Australia? I haven't heard much. from Oz, New Zealand. I just know you're all in lockdown. Live in Perth. That's second South Africa. They always call that small South Africa, Perth. We get our biggest support um, for rugby and cricket in Perth. So that's like our province in Australia. So you're living in South African town. Why are you chirping us? But yeah, Max Bowers says, "What team do I support? Which team? Sport? Which sport? Rugby, the Sharks and Super Rugby. Europe, Leinster, Springboks all the way. Cricket, Proteas, even though they're coming right at the end. Provincially, Warriors. Soccer, Manchester United. Don't mean offense, but what? Don't mean any offense by this, but seeing this joke. Why does the Chinese not play cricket? Because they won't eat. I get what you mean there. That is a good one, though. That is a good one. But they got so much population, they could create a mean cricket team on the plus side. Virgin Atlantic asking government here for a bailout in the UK, but when all the flights were grounded, they were one of the first airlines to make their staff redundant. That's interesting. Surely old Branson's got enough money to sort Virgin Atlantic out. I would have thought. Why did Western Force leave Super Rugby? They were kicked out. Western Force wanted to stay. It's just, I think, because of they got kicked out and then the Sunwolves came in, if I'm not mistaken. So they wanted to bring Japan in, so they kicked out Western Force because at that time, Western Force, I think, were the lowest in the tournament, if I'm not mistaken. But I know there was a lot of drama with that. They fought to bring back Western Force. And I think they did a combination with the Rebels. But yeah, a lot more teams are going to get canned. And rightly so in a way, because Super Rugby needs to be reduced. Do you think that money is destroying professional rugby? I do. I do believe that quite strongly. I think money is definitely destroying the sport because players can see the opportunities of what they want to do, and they see the opportunity of how they want to play, and all that stuff, and they want to follow the best opportunity to get good income, which is what a lot of us would have done. So I do think it is destroying it because that's why Super Rugby is dying out. It's because Europe's got all the money, Japan's got all the money, USA is bringing money in. So Super Rugby is just there's nothing happening. Hence why I say shake up the tournament, reduce it, and make it exciting for fans again. Gareth, I didn't think the cheaters deserve to get axed from Super Rugby. Yeah, a lot of people feel that way. Um, but again, they wanted to bring in Argentina and they wanted to bring in the Sunwolves, so they had to look at those teams to be axed. I do agree with you, but at the time, the Cheetahs were one of the weaker teams in South Africa. The Bulls were still strong then. The Sharks were all right. The Lions were dominant. I mean, if you remember back in 2012, Lions were one of the worst teams when the Kings replaced them in 2014 or something. So it just shows unfortunate. But the Cheetahs are holding their own up in Pro 14, I think. I think they're doing well. What else is there? Sorry, I got here. Just got here. Is Super Rugby going to change? Chester, I'm not sure at this stage. It's pretty much going to get cancelled. But what we've been saying on this stream is that they need to spice things up a bit to make it more entertaining and exciting. Um, and I think it needs to really shake things up a bit. Signing off, everybody. Take care. Until next time, too, man. Yo ho, die. What does that mean? Cheers, bro. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon. Did you see any way that the Europe-based teams come to an agreement to limit the import of some? I don't know. That I haven't heard from, but it's an interesting topic to limit the players going to the south or importing the south. I haven't seen any talk of that or any way. I think it's always going to be an issue because people want to play the money's offered there. These guys want these stars like the Bowden Barretts, the Peter Stephs, the Toys, all these star players from Australia, New Zealand, Argentina, South Africa, and hence why they're going there. Don't start me about the four shafted. That is why Twiggy started the new comp. Well, there we go. Duncan said it. You were shafted. They should have played. It's a pity. Rugby World Cup 2027 needs to be in the South. Agreed. 100% agree with you, Chester. William, at the time, there were 18 Super Rugby teams. That's the thing. It got too big. It's still too big. It needs to be reduced. I see you're a big Roman Atwood fan. So was I for years. Yo, Jamie, it's frustrating. I am a massive fan. He's pretty much been my motivation into all this. But I'm disappointed in him a bit because I feel now more than ever, him as an influencer should be out creating content to inspire and motivate others during this tough time. And I'm gutted that he hasn't taken it to. Well, I know he's got his family and we don't know what's going on. I know his mom dying took a big hit to him, but I feel now's the time when his influence should be inspiring, motivating people to never give up, to keep fighting, keep strong, and to give us all hope again. So for that fact, I hope he's coming back. He needs to come back. Salary caps should be introduced in every league in rugby, so every team is forced to compete on an equal level. Alan Thomas, excuse me, couldn't agree more with you there. Couldn't agree more. William says to Chester, our news say UK lockdown until June. Whoa, that's hectic. I reckon South Africa is going to get an increase too. We're currently going until the 16th of April. It's just increasing, getting worse. I don't see. I reckon we'll be back maybe May, end of May. I hope I'm wrong because then I'm in the shit with finance. Would like to see SK and the Cheetahs getting bet in the Pro 14 would make the league so much better. Jared, I agree. I think the Cheetahs are getting there. I do want to see the Kings improve and get stronger and develop more and create. They've got the players, they've got the opportunity. I met majority of this team. I know the management. I know a lot of them, and I feel that they have the potential. It's just money, money and development to buy the strength and to keep the strength. Sorry, keep the strength that we currently have. Do you think international rugby should be expanded as the gap between international teams is often huge? Yes, William, more international rugby should be the way to go. I think we have to have an increase in international rugby, bar none. Reduce provincial, more international. That will bring more people to the stadiums and will create more opportunity for networks because everyone will want to watch it. Rugby World Cup, prime example. Carl says South Africa was a question. Some of the greatest series of games in the EPL are games featuring the bottom teams so they don't get relegated. Could this work in rugby? I think it could. I've said that often. Relegation mode in Super Rugby, relegation in we do it in Curry Cup in South Africa. I think it's definitely a strength. It allows more opportunities for these lower order teams and gives hope and growth. I think I think it could work in rugby. And the same goes for Six Nations. Kick out Italy, bring in Georgia, who add Japan in to the championship and rotate the Pacific Island teams for me. I'm on lockdown in England. How can I stop my kids from getting fat? Run around the garden. That's about play sport. Get get a cricket bat out, get a rugby ball out and play. Keep them attacked. Keep them I'm reading attacked the word. Keep them active. That's what I did when I was a kid. I bowl every day to the wall. Every day. Kick a rugby ball to between two trees, act as if it was poles. It's hectic. Sam Smith, lol, attacked. I missed that one. People are crazy. What is that? Okay. Duncan, yes, promotion relegation rugby is great. I went through this in my old club back in Wellington. Hardest rugby I've ever played. There we go. Proof is in the pudding. How can South Africa get better at soccer? I think we've got a lot of talent and a lot of opportunity within South Africa's football. But I think it also comes down to money and producing the clubs and their transformation, because I don't think within our South African Football Association, I don't think there's equality being given to all players of color in that sport. They're so strict on South African government, South African rugby, South African cricket, but yet soccer is not that way. And I think that maybe we're missing, but there's potential. But also these guys play here; they only know here. I think if we've seen more players go overseas and get experience like Stephen Pienaar's, Andre Arendse, all those blokes, Benny McCarthy, it just allows them to create bigger opportunities, maybe. But it's a tough one. Backyard cricket is the best, hands down, the best. William, I agree. I love playing backyard cricket. It's always fun. I play it often with my best mate. I think every weekend after school. Got to shoot you, man. It's good to see you doing live streams to help keep the community together. Cheers, Alan. I think I'm thinking of doing this nearly every day to keep, if my daughter stays alive, just to keep the flow going, keep the motivation going and the talking going. I think if you guys are keen for that, an 11 o'clock stream every day during lockdown. I still have to work, but I think it could be fun. Or maybe 3 times a week, Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday. Let me know. We'll maybe see how we do it. How's it, Paulie B? Welcome to the stream. I would love to see Georgia in Six Nations. It will be huge for Eastern Europe nations. The interest would be highest in these days. Agreed. Agreed. Would would you class snooker or darts as a sport? Yeah, I would. Definitely. I think what you're doing is amazing. Good on you, Gareth. You have my full respect trying to keep people motivated. Thanks, Alan Thomas. Appreciate that, buddy. Gary, hey, G-Man, what's your thoughts on young South African sportsmen leaving for us for overseas? This is a hard topic. Um, the money is better. If you get a promotion or an opportunity to get a better job with money, you're obviously going to take it. And I've always been very critical of players running for money, because I believe you play sport for the love of it, not for the not for what's this? Play for the love, not for money. But then I think in a position, if I was offered a good job with a decent salary, I'd jump ship and go, because I'm thinking of my future. So I'm big on play grassroots levels, provincial, international, and not go overseas to fight. But unfortunately, it's a tough one, guys. It's a tough one. Now, now I'm very worried. Are you bowling left-handed or right-handed? I'm a righty all the way. I've tried to do left, but yeah, I can't get it right. Great idea, because it's not right. I presume that's about the streams going doing more. When I was in South Africa, in school, kids wanted to play soccer, but it was discouraged, and we didn't have a school team. We had teams in every other major team sport. That was a similar problem in my school. We played a lot of soccer, and soccer was a big thing, but we never played rugby. We played cricket, but only at high school level. So I could only play when I hit high school. I could never play. I could play. We played practice, but we never played matches, which killed me, because I would have been better at prevent. It would have given me more experience. Even though I did well in high school cricket, playing junior would have given me way more confidence and would have given a good boost. But there's a lot of schools that are Democrat with that. They focus on one sport and that's a sport, or they play every sport and skip out one. But sport, Chester, you're right. Soccer should be played all levels, because it's a national sport and it will help improve. But the problem is there's so many scouts around the world that they take these soccer stars. I mean, I know there was one we did an interview with on our radio show, and he was a PE boy looking to go play in Manchester. Scouts. We're losing quality players because they're all going overseas. William, Gareth, do you think the Proteas will ever make it past the World Cup semi-finals? Yes, I'll do. One day. Maybe not now. Actually, maybe next World Cup because we're rebuilding, but it's going to take a long time. It's hard. That's a very another topic for me. I love my cricket, but ish, they need to come right. Played online poker a few years ago. And wanted to get back into it with this lockdown just to see. It's banned now in SA. Interesting. Probably because of the gambling. They would see it as gambling, and they'll probably be concerned of people getting addicted during this time. Um, just joined in. I'm really missing sport. Yeah, fellow Isaac Connor, welcome. We're in a nationwide lockdown here in New Zealand. So are we in South Africa. We're all going through these tough times. Um, if there's any new people here, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Let's get up to 25. We're doing well today. Thank you all for joining. It's been a good one. I've gone an extra half an hour over than what I wanted to, which is great. But we'll keep going. But we're all missing sport, my man. We're missing it badly. 90% of the athletes in North America go to the team that offers the most money. That's why 10% of the players earn so much respect here. We see a few. Yep, there we go. LMC, you spotted it on there, my man. Because it's not right. Your cushions are too close together on your bed. Corona driving in. Oh, that doesn't. I just nipped that on to make it look neatish for you guys. That doesn't kick in there. Um, we are all in this together. The whole world is in this together. William, you're so right. I mean, you need to unite together to conquer this virus. Because if we keep dawdling around outside, the virus is going to spread and nothing's going to come right of this. So we need to do the right thing. I'm a surgery resident, got tested positive for COVID a couple days ago, feeling good, but a bit sore. Jeepers, but fighting though. Love the positivity, Gareth. Sam Smith, all the best, my man. Hope you have a speedy recovery on that. And thanks for joining us in these tough times. Wish you all the best, and hopefully more continue to recover from this, and we can find a cure. We're glad to hear you're feeling good, but keep safe and just keep strong, my man. Stay safe, Sam. Yep, agreed. I'm sure the pillars have covers, so they'll be fine. They do. I'm worried about facing you. I reckon you change hands in your run up. I have tried, but I honestly can't bowl left. But I do when I bowled. I would go slow to spin, and then confuse the shit out of everyone. Especially in action cricket, that used to be fun. I used to confuse the hell out of them, and then one ball I would just swing in with a bit more speed, and then it would just confuse the hell out of these players. And that's the beauty with me being short. No one knew what the hell was coming. And when I'd bowl, it's like, okay, it's going to be slow. And then I would bowl spin. Whoa, now he's confused. And then all of a sudden it would be a quick one. And then they just didn't know what to do. And that was the fun. I love playing cricket. I want to start action cricket again because it's a good fitness tool. But yeah, I think we could see the stream maybe ending. I need to go eat. I am starving. And I see the connection's also getting a bit fuzzy. So I think I'm going to sign off here. 25 likes. There, we're nearly there. I appreciate you all joining and getting into this conversation with me. Depending on how work goes tomorrow, if I still am, I doubt to be Trevor Nkani. Well, I remember that Trevor Nkani cricket, that was epic. But 28 likes, cheapers, we shot that. Thanks, guys. But I think I'm going to sign off, get to eat, have lunch. If you haven't checked, I've got a latest video, top rugby captains, that is currently live on the channel. Go check that out. Give it a big a big thumbs up, and let me know your thoughts on that. I also did a video just while we are on cricket. Should rugby follow cricket, with decision reviews? So let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section of those videos, and share it wide. Let's see what happens. But thank you for the support. Thanks for joining me today. It has been fun. And Duncan, thanks for the banter. I've enjoyed it. I'll make sure the cricket ball is here for the next stream. Maybe we'll do this one. Maybe we'll do tomorrow's one at 10 to make it earlier for you guys, so New Zealand can join in with us. Thanks so much for joining us. Keep safe, keep healthy, keep motivated, and keep positive. Because remember, a positive mindset inspires others. And go out there and do something different. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And for New Zealand guys, sleep well. And Australians as well. Stay safe, guys. Please stay safe and never give up. Thanks for joining. Cheers.